I believe we're live. Maybe, perhaps. I'm like 99% sure we're live right now. Anyhow, welcome back. I'm Urbandrei, and today we're writing some simple code. Okay. I know I said I was gonna do a game jam, and part of me really wants to, honestly. But I gave it some thought. I don't think that's something live at all. It's kind of weird. Trying to get my chat up, and it's not letting me see the YouTube. I just got let Discord on live. Okay, I see it now. And now, let's quickly grab our YouTube link thingamabob. And so here is the goal. Here's the goal for today. I want to start making more simple tutorials. I think that is a noble goal. To basically make little things. I feel like also making simple tutorials kind of forces me to learn more stuff about game development. It's a win-win, really, if you think about it. So okay, Discord's updating. Man, I already copied the link though, so I think we're in the clear. But anyhow, so actually, what I was working on this beforehand. Like, I'm not going into this 100% blind. Maybe just a little bit blind. And what I've come up with so far. So actually, I got the idea from a TikTok because I've been trying my darndest to get onto coding TikTok recently. Because I feel like I've been on kind of like random TikTok for the longest time. Let's quickly let Discord know that I'm in fact live and alive. I think at this point I gotta let you guys know I'm alive, not just live at YouTube. Also, my microphone was way away from my face. But anyhow, so as I was mentioning earlier, so I have been working on some stuff, and this is actually one of my simple projects. It might not look very simple, but I promise you, like all of this code here is just like table setting, just variables and stuff. Then all of this right here is just essentially resetting the table if you win. And then here's the interesting thing, but really, this could have been like 3 lines of code, but if I did it in 3 lines, it would have been like very, very non-generalizable. It would have been really hard to read. So I did it this way, even though this is arguably harder to read. And then I have these edge cases. Nothing really. This is really just a big if statement. This isn't even that complicated. And then we have some basic output stuff and like, yeah. This is like a tie checker. And some basic output stuff. Like all of this stuff is actually, this is a really arguably simple project. And if you're wondering, what is this project? This project was a simple game of tic-tac-toe. I'll show you guys. Yeah, I saw on TikTok. So going back to TikTok. So I was on TikTok, and what I saw was somebody was like making a joke about spending X amount of time playing tic-tac-toe. So I'm gonna save. Hello, 8-Bit Boy, how's it going? And you're first. You're indeed first. Cheers to that. But let me quickly just exit out of this. But yeah, is my Stream Deck is refusing to work right now. Well, I guess I don't have a Stream Deck today. That's gonna make everything 10 times more difficult. But yeah, so I made this thing very, very simple. Just a very, very simple game of I guess X ones. I gotta get a How do I tie this? There we go. Tie game. There we start. So, very, very simple game of tic-tac-toe. I gotta get 1 second. I gotta get this. I can manually, like, after getting used to using the Stream Deck to change the screens, doing it manually is gonna be impossible. So I gotta fix this before anything else. Man, the things that go wrong when you're preparing for stream. I've never had my Stream Deck. Well, I guess I have had issues like earlier on when I was still learning it. But like recently, we've had no issues with this guy. Don't know why I decided to like act up right now. Let's just plug this guy back in. Come on, Stream Deck. Come back to me, Stream Deck. Maybe I can like turn on the software. Maybe the issue is the software. Okay, let's see. Yay! The Stream Deck is working. Okay, we're in business. But yeah, so Discord's been let known. Everyone's chill, happy, no complaints. My chair is rolling away from the screen. Stay. I need to get a better chair at some point. I'm thinking like a bar stool. I want to get like a standing desk and get like a bar stool kind of deal. That'd be kind of cool. I don't know. I think it's kind of cool. But yeah, so, oh man, I gotta do something on my computer. Maybe I'm gonna finally switch to Linux. I've been wanting to. There's something very, very like oddly satisfying about doing stuff in like Notepad, though. Being completely honest with you. Also, one thing I was working on recently. Let me bring it over to the screen. I'm also gonna task manager. Man, everything. I take a couple day break from stream and everything just falls apart on me. It's like, without fail. Okay, 1 second. Where are you? There's like a weird like, you guys can't see it, but I can see it. There's like a little Epic Games notification, and I try to delete it, but there it goes. Okay, I took care of it. Now I can work properly. Okay. But what I basically was working on recently was this, which is basically I wanted to create a page, a view, or like, so I'm not sure if you've who here has been on my I tried to put this on YouTube, but YouTube just the algorithm hated it, and well, more accurately, the people on the algorithm hated it. So, but what I created was I created these like this little tutorial for making the text-based game. I'm sure you guys remember that from like a previous stream. So I wanted to create like a little like screen that like more fancy. I don't like this. Honestly, I was working on a gradient, and I think a gradient would be really cool. But right now it isn't. It isn't it. It isn't quite there yet. I'm kind of, maybe we should just go for like simple. Something like this. Very, very uncolorful, but that's a little better, I think. I'm gonna put the secondary texting at 666 because classy. Let's actually write in a new texting. So the next one is how to code tick. Well, let me first zoom this in by 1,000,000 because I can't see it all. Tick tack toe. I'll say a simple tic-tac-toe. I'll keep it like a simple. Okay, it is quite simple what I'm doing. And we're gonna go for the font that I've been using is over here somewhere. I forget the name. It was like L something. Lilliput. There we go. And the one difference is because it is monospaced, we're going to remove all of this nonsense. Oops, a daisy, not that one. And we're going to just clean up that space. Manually. Later on, I'll probably figure out a better way to do this. There has to be. I might have to like mess around with the actual file itself. Yeah, let's keep it at tic-tac-toe. Yeah, I'm kind of. Let's just do keep. I think the other way was too long. So then let's just simply. What's the width of this guy? 1,000. Yeah, 1,000. Let's first turn this. Give it outline. Let's just type, create outlines, and make the width 1,000. And then just center it and make the Y 666. Yeah. Maybe it's a little bit high. Maybe I should, instead of this being the, probably should do it this way. Let's make this 600. Yeah, 600 is what we want. So we'll do 600 for this one as well. 600. There we go. Much, much cleaner. Then give this a white. And there we have it. A very, very simple full screen thing. So you guys might be wondering, where is this going? So we have this very, very basic design screen thing. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and we're going to, well, actually, first of all, anything, is this? No, I want it to be dark gray. Yeah, I think it's good. I think it's good. Nah. Can't mess with the formula. The formula. Might make him just a little bit taller though. This is not a statement on my stature. Height, we'll make it like 1250. Yeah, I just want the hair. The hair was kind of blending into the cloud a little bit. But anyhow, that looks pretty good. So now let us, for right now, I want to build a mask. Make sure the mask is correct. Then we're going to center it. And then we're going to use these. Can we make a mask? Oh, we can make a mask of a mask. Okay, but now we got to do is bring it underneath. And we have it. We have a very, very basic front screen we're using for our social media. You guys are watching me make social media live. You're watching me break my habits. I'm breaking the curse of me not doing any social media for my projects. Let's export this. Export as TTT desktop. Make a social media folder. Watch me already have a social media folder that I just have never used because that's pretty much how everything goes. I'll give it a transparent background. Okay. Anywho. Now what we're going to do is let's move this minus 1080. Oh wait, not the width. Whoops a daisy. Hello, Chris Paul. How's it going? Welcome back to stream. I genuinely don't know if this is going to work well. I guess we're going to find out in a second. Let's hide the person layer. I'm going to just group these. Just hide this. Hello, Lambda. How's it going? Welcome back to stream. Welcome, everybody. We're working on some social media for a little thing I was working on outside of stream. Here, I'll catch you guys all up. So, outside of stream, I got inspired. I feel like recently, I know it's dumb. It's pretty dumb, actually. But I've been inspired to write games that already exist in my trademark crazy style of like the HTML DOM manipulation stuff I normally do. Basically, I want to try to keep everything I create like under 100 lines of code. Basically, I want to create every game in 100 lines of code or less. And like do one a day, like because I think like this, for instance, this game here, it took me an hour, and honestly, it should have taken me less than that. I think this should have taken me half an hour. And what is this? This, I was inspired by a TikTok joke, I guess, meme about programming. That was like spending, like, you know, just the usual, I was in class and maybe do tic-tac-toe and it barely works, that kind of deal. I got inspired by that, and I created tic-tac-toe for myself in my style. And here is it running. So I very, very simple, just a little bit of an output, some buttons, and you click the buttons, and it does this, and it tells you when a character is 1, then it resets, and if you tie it up, come on. I mean, I hope you guys can trust that I didn't fail doing, there we go, tie game, etc. So I made a very basic game of tic-tac-toe. It really wasn't that difficult. Honestly, most of my code here is like just setup and a bunch of like just basic edge cases. If you take away that, the code that actually does the checking is this, and even that, I overrode it. Could have done a lot easier. But I made it like in an hour. And I feel like making games like these quickly, like super simple games as quickly as possible, is a good practice. Like, it's practice for game jams. Can you guys hear me, by the way? You guys can hear me. Perfect. Just making sure. It's practice. It's fun. It's so. I think it's good for me to create tutorials and stuff. I think it's a win-win all around. And I feel like eventually I'm gonna get back into game jams. I think I already told you all, but the job that I was really hoping for, I was gonna really like help us get like this stream like to a nice schedule. It kind of fell through. Man, wait, you just heard me say that? Man, the stream is very delayed. Why is the stream so... Wait. Wait, let me take a listen to my own stream. I'm hearing myself say like every word. That sounds horrible. Man, wait, you just heard me say that? Man, the stream is very delayed. It's like 30 seconds to a minute delay. Wait, let's try this out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. 28! 28 seconds for myself. I'm on my own network. That's ridiculous. 28 seconds of delay. Okay, that we gotta figure out what's going on there. That's not acceptable. I've heard there have been issues with the YouTube server, but that's like that's a whole nother level. That's wild. Well, uh, now you guys know at least that I'm dealing with a ton of delay. So if you guys say something, it's like, oh, why is he not responding? Chances are I did, and it's like 30 seconds later you're gonna hear it. And I apologize for that. Um, but anywho, let's um, let's get this social media thing done. It really isn't that hard to make the social media thing, so we'll probably get done like in the first like 15 minutes, and then I'll post it, and then we'll do something else. Excuse me. You're gonna see me resize this thing live. So, do you want to move it over to the screen? Because this screen's smaller, so I can actually probably mess around with it better. I'm gonna like shrink this. I mean, this is more of a semantic thing. Hello, 8-bit boy. Does anybody else have any game requests? I guess that's a good question. Anything you guys would like to see me code? Yeah, I misspoke. I didn't. Well, you're gonna hear this in 28 seconds. But I misspoke. I didn't mean my own network. But I meant like the what's the word? I should be on the same server that's servicing this. So it's not like it's has to go to like a go across the server, or go to like to a different country or something. It's still in the Ohio general region. I'm assuming they have a server here servicing this region. I'm kind of scared that by me trying to reformat this, I'm gonna like accidentally delete something, and it's gonna make this not very good. If you're wondering why I'm doing this, because I think it's pretty easy to see that me doing this is actually like not great. Um, it's mainly because I want to use a bigger font so it's more readable on social media. And if I don't do this, it'll be like unreadable, like the words themselves. Not unreadable, but it will definitely be like not great. I think I can make it just a little inch bit bigger. It sucks knowing that you guys are. Oh, 8-bit boy made something? Okay, well, that was a delayed reaction from me. I'm gonna take a look. Wait. I think that's supposed to be a hand, but it's so big, it also like a pipe or something. It's not bad though. I like it. Okay, and actually, it's not a pipe. I think it looks more like a horn. Like from afar, it looks like a horn. Like a I'm about to like do a battle call or something. I'll comment this just so it's a little bit more readable. I think that's a fair thing to do in this case. I will end my no comment, even though this is like not a great comment, being completely honest. I think this is definitely gonna be. Should I make this a 3-page thing? This feels like I should make it a 3-page thing. Yeah, no, I'm gonna make it a 3-page thing. We're gonna remove this formatting afterwards. So we're gonna first have on the social media this area, then the function. We'll have this as a full one, and then we'll have well, maybe actually wait. I'm gonna this could I can put this up here actually. This doesn't have to be down there. I mean, it's not like the end of the world if I do it that way, or do the other way. But yeah. Hey, Kark Stockson, how's it going? Welcome back to stream. Okay, let's see how badly I've effed up my code from doing this. Ah, surprisingly, it has not been effed up. It's working just fine. Not really. Honestly, I was working outside of stream a little bit, and you're kind of catching me creating social media for what I've made outside of screen. Or stream. So I'm kind of creating this nice little thing. Let's zoom in actually. Let's yeah, that's a good size. I'm showing you guys my social media process live. Live on stream. Here we go. So now let's clip this. I need to clean up my desktop at some point. Right now it's getting pretty crazy. Pretty bonkers. Where's my... Wait, here it is. Okay. I will say Karks Talks, and actually I probably should mention this, and for anybody else who joins the stream, there's a huge chat delay right now, like even worse than before, that we've kind of been seeing. So I don't reply to you immediately. It's chances are I have replied to you. It's just gonna take a minute for it to actually like get to you guys once I reply. I'm gonna probably do from here down to here, and I'll do the last one will be like a little bit shorter. So we're gonna zoom in just. Yeah, I feel like I've noticed it too, but I've never like I did a counting test and it was like a full. Yeah, I don't know. It might be like a setting thing at this point, but I don't really know what setting. You're working on Starlight rules right now. What's Starlight? I don't think you've told me about that project, and that's a project I'm working on. Or if you have, I've forgotten, and I do apologize for that. Wait, it's still working? I feel like I gotta double check like every couple minutes and make sure my code is not 100% bricked. So the light of stars we see is from stars already dead and gone. That is true. Probably millions of light years away. Probably more than millions in some cases. Okay. I'm gonna make my game while watching the stream while I'm eating. Multitasking. That is the way. That is 100% the way. We have, because I have the next photo taken. Oh wait, I just okay. Well, they're gonna get a spoiler for the next social media thing. I guess it could be worse. I'm sure you might be able to spot the spoiler. Let's start here. This is the most revolting ending of a function I could possibly do, but you know, it works. We're gonna laugh about it later. There we go. And now we're gonna just clip it. Mistakes have been made, but they're made with good intentions. The best mistakes with good intentions. Okay, but now we have all of the content done. Now let's take a photo of like a state when it's like a versatile state. Let's go to the game. Let's run it. Let's like zoom in max because it's max zoomed in. Let's zoom out just a little bit. Okay. Let's take a screenshot of this thing. And then save it in social. Social. Okay. And now we have all of our stuff. So let's make the social media, post it, and then we'll work on something else. What I'm going to do for right now is I'm going to copy and paste this a couple times. Okay, and now what we're going to do is we're going to take this and we're going to add 180 to it. Actually, minus. Go in here and add 1080 to this. Yeah. Okay, and then we're going to add. Well, actually, we're going to go back here. Minus 2160. Actually, no, just 1080. Okay, save it, cancel. One second, you guys can't see what I'm doing. Let's go in here, Adobe, and let's zoom in just a little incy bit. And we're gonna start by dragging in our favorite stuff. So the first one is gonna be this one. We're gonna first center it. And then we're gonna make the width be 1000. Type, oh. Type into your into any text editor. Go to all of these and do this. Then we're going to do type outline, make it 1000, center, and then drop it down a little bit. Make the fill be white. Oh wait, it's not capitalized. I knew it looked a little bit off. I was like, that looks kind of off. I don't know why that looks off. And then now it's hit me that, oh, it's not capitalized, so that's what it looks. Type into any text editor. I'm really hoping it's going to work well on any social media. I'm not even positive yet. It might not. It's kind of like a big game of maybe. I really can't wait till I have like most of these saved, so I can just like reuse them across projects. That would be a dream. Just drop it down. And then give it a fill of white. And then we'll add a little continue. And then we're going to center this. You finished the game? Nice! Well, what did you make it on? Or what was the game you made? Let's move this over to the side a little bit. So I can be a little bit more lazy. I can have a horrible... I'll have my usual gamer posture. Okay. But let's export this. File, export as... Scratch, okay. Yeah, we'll take a look at it. I think my goal, a text-based mod of Scratch. Interesting. Is it like is it deployed anywhere? Is it like on itch.io or anything? I can take a look at it. If not, that's okay. Just out of curiosity. Okay. And now one last one, I think. Yeah, one last one. Okay. And let's save this, file, export. Basically, I think what the goal right now with this social media thing is I want to have a very, very streamlined process for making this. Because my experience is if I don't, I won't do it. Also, I just realized I messed everything up. Well, that's fun. Well, I gotta go back through it anyways. Well, we learned a lesson. Okay. What do we have so far? I'm gonna take a look at the social media folder. Okay, so we gotta delete these two. T3 and T4 are the incorrect ones. Let's go back in here. Center this. We already got the text done, so that's one thing off our back. Delete this, and then go in here. Okay. Drag the final one in here. Make the height 900. Center it. Export it. Again, the goal is how fast can I make this? The easier it is for me to make, the more likely I'll actually end up using this. Okay, and let us center. Let's make this one a little bit bigger. Okay. And there we have it. Now well, we actually have to go, before I forget, I nearly messed up again. Let me double check, actually, make sure I didn't mess it up again. Okay, I didn't mess it up the previous time. All we gotta do is just quickly Just bring this back to plus 3 times 1080, 3,240. Yeah. And now, file, export. And we're done. Okay. So all the social media is done. Now all we have left to do is post it. Really. Well, I gotta, let's come to code. Let's make a copy of it that I can actually bring the code back over here so you guys can see it properly. We're gonna do some minor cleanup because we did ruin a lot of it to kind of like make it more suitable for the social media. Basically, gotta throw in a lot of tabs. This is gonna be very unpleasant, but it is something I gotta do. It's only like 70 lines. We're already halfway through it. Could be a lot worse. I wonder why the spacing is kind of weird here. Hopefully that's the end of that issue. Wait. Are these all by 3 for some reason? These are all by 3s. Well, not too difficult to fix. And now, let's just finish up with this. This pain, this torture, this torment. And we gotta make sure it's still running, and I didn't break the code in my search for slight okay, that looks correct. Now let's run it and make sure that everything is okay. Everything's okay. And now let's just drag this code, copy. And now I use 2 different resources, by the way, for social media. For those who are curious about social media, I feel like to some degree, I kind of wish I talked more about streaming and social media and stuff. Not that I'm an expert, but I feel like I'm definitely the way I try to do stuff, I have solutions. And I'd love to share those solutions with people if that is of any interest to you guys. Okay. So Google Drive is where I actually been using Notion more, but it kind of kicked me a little bit last time I did it. It wasn't a very pleasant process. I do got to figure out a better way to use Notion for this kind of stuff. I think Notion, I also want to find out what people use for social media scheduling. But Notion, in terms of like actually planning and so on, Notion's been pretty awesome. I've been liking Notion a lot. Very, very happy with Notion. I'm very happy with the notion of Notion. Okay, let's make sure everything's getting updated. Everything is updated. And now, let's post it, everybody. Okay, today I've been thinking, and I'll do something very different. I'll make a title on every one of my posts. I think that's important. No hashtags. I'll just put the code down, verbatim, and that's it. I don't know if the social media algorithm is going to love me for this. Probably not. I might regret this. But I don't know. Whenever I put like a million hashtags down, I always feel like I don't know. It just feels wrong. Maybe that's not the correct way to view it, but for me at least, it's been feeling kind of wrong whenever I put in like social media hashtags. I honestly, this one looks so cool. I like it. Well, let me first see how it looks like when I post it. I think that's the true test. Okay, I'm actually even more curious. Will TikTok let me put all my code in? The real test of faith here. So, that's weird. TikTok lets us do text right now. Okay. So we want to do how to cook tic-tac-toe. What's the order of this? This one, this one, this one, this one. Next. This doesn't look good. Something's wrong. Yeah, this is pretty bad actually. I want to go back to my actual what I made. Let me look at the actual photos. Okay, I gotta fix this. Why is it's like cutting off the images, like pretty significantly too. Okay, this was actually I think this wasn't a success. It's actually pretty bad. I gotta re. I guess it's not the end of the world. I'll just do the same thing on both social medias. We're still learning. It seems like it really hates the size I did originally, so I'm gonna have to do something different next time. Oh, that looks so bad. Why? Please. Why are you doing this to me? Okay. Uh. Yeah, yeah. You know what? Okay. Failure. We pretty critical failure. Let's actually fix this. I don't want to. I have to. I have to. I have no excuse. I must make amends. Why is 3/4 just no? But like it doesn't even fit my screen. What is okay? What is the aspect ratio? The best aspect ratio. Okay, so these are definitely going to be on like What is, okay, TikTok aspect ratio? Like, what is the... Yeah, that's true. No, social media is kind of a chance game. Wait. I'm using their aspect ratio. I'm using the exact... Wait. No way. No way. Why is... I'm going back. I'm going back. Why did it not complain about the previous one? Like, the previous one, there was no issue. Wait, when I do a single one, it works. I'm so confused. Like, I'm seeing it crop into the image. Also, I'm seeing that there's like a white edge on some of them, which is also an issue I probably need to correct for. I might just make it 3/4, and I'll do that in the app. Just keep it simple. But we're going to... we do need to fix the edge. So I'm going to go... Why is... Wait, I want to actually look at the image itself. Is it like an issue in TikTok, or is it like on the image itself? There's no edge on... Wait, let me look at the act. I'll use my discerning eye, and I'll look at the images we've made and see if there is a distinguishable edge on one of these things. I will say that some of these images are all... I think, okay, the reason why it's complaining, I think, is because all the images are different size. Why are all the images different size? That's the question. That is the question we need to answer for. So let's go back to Adobe. Let's go back to Adobe and let's figure this out. What size is this right now? 1080 by 920. Okay, good. And is this all centered? Is this nice and centered? Well, I guess all we care about is the background. Wait, did you guys see that? It wasn't centered. Okay, let's... let's do this again. Trial number 2. Second time's a charm, right? Wait, it's up minus 3240 plus... Okay, there we go. Go back. Make sure that this is centered. Okay, I see. I definitely see a white line there. Am I cooking? I'm not cooking right now. I'm just doing... This is the opposite of what I normally do. This is just graphic design and social media. And it's just because I'm making my life a little bit more difficult because I'm trying to add a little bit more spice to my social media, and it's kicking me in the butt. That's kind of the long and short of it. Whenever I try something new, it kicks me in the butt a couple times. Then I optimize it, and then it's all good. So once I figure this out, we'll be all clean. But 1080 times, wait, 1080 times what? 4, we're asking, right? 1080 times 4, we're talking 432120. 4320. Okay. And now let's clean this up just a little bit. There we go. Now we got the edge looking okay. And everything is centered. Everything is nice and clean. Thank you. Well, I will say, okay. Have you been here on stream before? Not sure if I'm, my brain is not working. Okay. I think I remember your name. Have you been here on stream? Like, do you know the stuff I do, or? I need to know if you need context or not. If you need context, I'd gladly provide it. I just need to know if you've been here before. If you know the general stuff I do. My brain is literally blown a fuse. That's my only explanation right now. Let's see, 1080. No, that's not right. You were here before. Okay, so you know what? It's okay. Then I don't think I need context for. So right now, all I'm doing is, so you're probably used to seeing me doing JavaScript and writing code. And actually, I've already done that. I actually did before stream a little bit. And we'll do some during stream as well, and a little bit as well. But I wrote some code before stream, and it's this thing. It's like I basically just wrote a simple game of tic-tac-toe. Let me properly screen this. There we go. I made a simple game of tic-tac-toe. Using buttons and stuff. So I made a very, very simple project. It was more like a challenge. I did like in an hour. I could have done it in half an hour. I got to work on taking it down to time piece by piece. But I got this done. And now what I'm trying to do is, I've been recently, this is part of like my ongoing idea of writing code, like less code, doing more with less code in my trademark weird coding style. So I wrote this code in like 70 lines. And I'm going to post it on social media, and hopefully someone has some use for it. Maybe I will inspire somebody to write their own stuff. So what I'm doing right now is I'm creating a social media post for it. So this is really just graphic design, just me making some kind of nice and simple social media post style thing. Yeah, it's really not that impressive, if I'm being completely honest with you. Oops, Daisy. I'm just trying to, I did this before actually, and I made a very neat looking thing. But coding a loading screen. Ah, I see. So you're familiar with this guy. Yes. No, that project is gonna be more and more used. I feel like right now it's criminally underused on my stream. There's some stuff I gotta do to make it a bit better, but it's gonna be better. I promise you. I got plans. I got a lot of plans. Really, most of those plans involve me sitting down for roughly 40 hours straight and just going ham with some code, which is why I haven't done it yet, because I just haven't had that time available. Don't tell anybody I said this, but as soon as like I'm like at all financially liquid, like as soon as I can say like conclusively, yeah, I'm set for like the next 3 months. You first stumbled upon me in Loading Screen 3? Yeah. Man, I got a lot of people from Loading Screen 3 apparently. You know what I just realized? I don't think I've ever made a single social media post by Loading Screen 3. I haven't. I have not done a single one. That's a mistake. I gotta correct that mistake at some point. That is definitely something I gotta get on top of. But wait 1 second. I think this is at the, no, it's correct. But yeah, I've been trying to get more into social media lately. That's like the biggest thing, that because don't get me wrong, you guys are all awesome. I really appreciate each and every single one of you. I just want there to be more of you. I want to expand my army, the Herb army. Actually, we're just calling you Herbs. I want to expand my army of Herbs. I have to. I know it's not spelled that way, but I just as like a meme, I have to like make a mini game or like a loading screen where you guys are literally like little plants, like little herbs. That'd be so funny. I have to do that. There's no excuse. I have to do that. That's like for sure. But yeah, I need to start being more consistent, because like, I mean, I'm not, it's not gonna be overnight unless I get very, very surprised, and I'll be very pleasantly surprised that it happens. But it's very unlikely that I'm gonna like wake up one day and like there'll be like 100 of you just waiting. I don't even think I deserve it yet. I definitely don't deserve having an army of people just like Herb Army Night. Yeah. But I don't think I deserve having like 100 people watching me. Like what I do, don't get me wrong, I think what I do is pretty cool. I like it. Honestly, I wouldn't be doing it if I didn't like really like what I do. Do I think that it is like, oops, daisy, that was a mistake, cancel. Do I think it's like worth, the content I'm creating is worth 100 people watching? Like would 100 people be able to like watch me for a long period of time? I feel like I'm struggling to hold five people's attention. So clearly I'm not quite there yet. But I am growing. I am learning. I'm advancing my streamer skills. And eventually we will get to the point where I will be able to do this right. I also just think like once I have time to do everything I want to do. Also, I interrupted myself. If I wasn't watching my stream, I would have. Aw, I like that. I'm glad. I like to hear that you're coding, and I'm happy that I was able to motivate you or inspire you in any way. But yeah, no, like that makes me happy, honestly. But hearing you guys actually like getting motivated by me, like unironically, like seeing you guys do stuff, because like that's why I'm doing this, honestly. Like I wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for like, I feel like I'm doing good. I'm doing good for some people. It's honestly rather humbling that that people are inspired by me. It's not just about me anymore. Well, I will say, cosmical sense. I don't. You said, do you do what you want to do for fun? That's what it's all about. Produce music is probably all for fun and self improvement. I care about fans, but also care about quality over quantity. So I guess the thing is, I agree with you 100%. But there's like a line that like you have to at some point, if you care about your work and you want it, you don't sacrifice your work or like your enjoyment of the work for fans. But there also needs to come a point where you got to be like, okay, I like this a whole lot, but clearly it isn't getting out there. Chris Wall said that's the wrong mindset. People who get something is not as good, they deserve it. I mean, that's true. Like I don't. I'm not going to disagree with you and say that nobody who hasn't deserved it got their following, got their people, got their community. Obviously, that's not true. Oh, I'm not punishing myself, but it's more like, okay, here, let me. Okay, I need to vocalize this because I feel like I'm like just worrying you at this point. Here's the thing: when I look at like people who are successful, but not necessarily because like they got lucky, like, you know, because I think there's definitely people out there who like they were just at the right place at the right time. That one of their works was just went viral for whatever reason, and then they got like 1 million people, and now they're living off of it, and that's totally fine. Like that is a way to make it. But when you look at people who like had to like really like work their way up to those numbers or to like that kind of content, the thing is there's definitely stuff about them that they do that is really well done. Like for instance, like consistency. I think consistency is probably the biggest thing. Yeah, no. Okay, let me finish my thought. I'm reading what you guys are saying, but let me finish my thought. So consistency is a big thing. So like not just like streaming, but like social media, community outreach. I think about it this way. I haven't been active anywhere. I haven't been active in the community. I haven't been active on other people's community. I haven't like posted my stuff regularly. I haven't even been talking to you guys regularly. Like I was basically radio dead for the last like 3 days. Like that's not acceptable. I need to get to the point where like I am, because I mean it doesn't come easy, and that's the point. It doesn't come easy to me. That's part of the issue. Is just I don't have these habits built up. But it's kind of like, honestly, by the way, this is another problem I have. But it's like keeping touch with an old friend. You know, it takes effort. It takes like it doesn't like, you know, especially like when you grow apart and like he's on the other side of the country and you just don't get to talk to him as much and everything else. Like it gets hard, and you guys have your own schedules and time zone differences. Like it's definitely hard to keep touch. It's definitely effort you gotta put in. But arguably, if you're good friends, it's worth your time and effort to like keep touch with your friend. Same thing with this. You gotta build a habit. You gotta make a habit of posting every day, keeping touch, engaging with people. Like, you know, and also part of it is you need to like. It's not just about what I produce. It's about me interacting and like help. You can't really expect to not give to the community and get something back. Like I need to like start like basically promoting other people's work, or like getting, or you know, helping other people grow their side. Like it kind of goes both ways. Either through collaborations or through just me shouting people out like, hey, I just saw this guy's work. That's pretty awesome. I kind of like it. Maybe we'll do something similar. You know, just stuff like that. That's another thing. It's just consistency of like social media and like me being there, being present and doing stuff. That's going to be a huge thing. Again, just these aren't like things I don't like doing. It isn't like, oh yeah, like I'm going to change my entire personality for this. No, I'm not. Like, I don't think I even am like mentally capable of doing that because I'm just so off the walls and hinged. But I do think to some degree I need to like build up these habits. And then also there's like quality. Like we've talked about this. I'm getting better at it. But like I was saying earlier, I was watching me like live. Right now, you just heard me say it again. I do stuff when I'm public speaking, like say the word like, you know, like just doing stuff like that, or like like again. I gotta just get this out of my system, or just sometimes I will notice this as well, where like a phrase or a word or gets stuck in my head, and I will repeat it over and over again in the span of a minute. You'll hear me use the same exact word like 10 times. I'm still saying like, but I'm trying to catch it. I'm trying to catch it. But that's not okay. I got to build these habits where I don't rely on filler words or get into these habits, or I got to get better at public speaking, and I got to start getting better at storytelling, getting better at finishing my thoughts, having a story, like getting the story down and presenting it in a way that isn't just me going on 10 tangents and then eventually getting to the point. That's another thing. It's just getting these and doing all of that, by the way, while I'm coding, because I have this habit of I'll start talking to the screen, and that's fun. I like doing it. But I don't do work for a full 20 minutes, and it's it's first of all non-productive and also kind of boring because it's just I'm just yammering and we're actually not doing anything, and that's kind of bad because you guys want to see results, and I understand that. Well, yeah, I mean, okay. I'm not saying okay. I appreciate you guys worrying, and I understand where you're coming from, but it's not. How do I explain this? I feel like every time I try to explain myself, I'm digging myself in a deeper hole. Um, I'm not saying this from a perspective like I hate myself, I'm the worst streamer ever, etc. I'm saying this as I am working towards this. I am learning how to do this better. This isn't, I understand that this isn't something that's going to happen overnight. Oopsie daisy. And it's not like I'm going to. There we go. Really, the only thing I can do, obviously, is just keep refining my craft. I guess my point right now is simply that when I said, I'm just trying to, wrapping back to what I said originally. What I said originally was, I don't feel like I deserve to have the 100 viewers tuning in. And the reason why, so what I'm explaining is why I think I can't have 100 viewers right now is because I have these intrinsic quality issues, quality control issues in my production. And I'm not saying I can't get there. I'm not saying that this is barring me from, from going viral and getting lucky. Like I'm not saying that like I'm the worst content. I'm not saying that. It's more just I'm trying to explain why I think that what I need to do before I will expect to see growth. Because I will probably, honestly, I could share with you guys the numbers I see, because I do look at the numbers a lot. Whenever I do stuff, I always look at, let's see what performance improvements, let's see. I really view this from a social media marketing manager kind of viewpoint. And I look at the numbers, I guess I'm just very obsessive with the numbers too. But I look at these things and I think about these things and I figure stuff out. I figure like, oh yeah, people seem to like this. People don't seem to like this. And these are things I think about on a regular basis. Let's export this. TTT2. Export. Yes. But yeah, so, oh yeah. No, this is definitely my passion. I love this. Trust me, if I didn't love this, I would not be doing this. Especially like everything I've been trying to do for stream. The reason that the thing that keeps me pushing forward is the passion. I think the closest I've ever gotten to quitting streaming was wait, I just a million comments. 1 second. So Kark's Toxin is just keep doing what you think is your passion. Cosmical sounds, be yourself, be you, and have fun with your craft. Chris Ball said, I agree in many ways. I just mean the mindset is counterproductive. Do you do work, you get results. There's no deserved justice. As productive developer, what's your favorite lunch and work time? Okay, that well, the last was kind of a little bit off topic, but it's okay. Hello, Vipin Live. I guess, okay. I'm just trying. I feel like I've dug myself into a little bit of a hole. I'm just trying to like explain myself before you guys get too worried. 1 second. It's how do I explain this? Let me try to delete this first. There we go. Here is okay. Is this making sure this is all in the bounds? Ooh, that's a problem. Why is this? It's because the feet are just slightly out. I think the feet are slightly out of this bounds. It might have been a problem from earlier. Anyways, so yeah, so I'll just end on this thought while we're talking about this. I don't mean like I don't deserve, like when I'm talking about this, I don't mean that I'm the I'm hating on myself or stuff like that. It's more like when I look at numbers. I'm a numbers guy. When it comes to stuff like this, I'm super just I try to distance emotion from it when I'm actually talking results. I'm very like, well, obviously you can't completely, like, emotions are part of it, but it's like part of the equation. It isn't something that I get emotional about. It's more like what are the emotions, like what emotions is driving the content. Emotions are part of the equation. It isn't driving my analysis of it. I'm really numbers and input output kind of thing. I'm very, very coding minded when it comes to how I actually view uh, social media growth, streaming, etc. When it comes to stuff like that, I really try to. Did I say that right? I could probably say it right. I really try to be as business minded as possible. And essentially, what I mean by I don't deserve the growth is a lot of times when I'm looking at like my social media and so on, and you'll hear me talk about this too. Also, I accidentally, whoops a daisy, that's not good. Yikes. Did I forget? No, I didn't forget it. Where is... Ah, there it is. Okay. Hopefully this is correct. Anyways, I gotta go take care of this now, and I'll keep talking while we're doing it. But the thing is, for instance, I can look at the numbers and I can tell you, for instance, that in the last week of me posting regularly, so in the last month, I kind of taken a break for a couple weeks, and that's a problem, by the way, but we're gonna ignore that. Before that, I was posting every single day and I was doing a single post a day, and it was going pretty well. It was pretty regular. There were a couple days that were a little bit off, and I could see some dips in performance, but for the most part, I was seeing growth, and it was great. Then I'm not sure where this trend happened, but near the end of it, there was I changed up to formula because I was trying something new, and when I changed up to formula, I saw a huge decrease performance. Like, it went from, like, think 11, like 7,000 views on YouTube at least, to like 500. Like, we're talking, we literally decimated the view count with like me changing the content. Now, we have very limited data, so I'm not sure if it's a apples to apples comparison, or if that's the actual cause. Maybe just my vibe changed. Maybe just my tone of voice was slightly different. Maybe it was something in the algorithm. Maybe like the timing was bad. There's a lot of things that could have tied into it. But when I'm looking at that, what I'm thinking is, okay, well, how do we fix this? How do we bring those numbers back up? How do I see growth? How do I bring back the views? Get the algorithm happy with me? Because at the end of the day, I'd like to think that if I got myself in front of 100,000 people, let's say one of my posts goes seriously viral. Let's stick around here. Of course, Clark stocks. Well, good luck on your homework. But I seriously think that if 100,000 people, because obviously we've had in the stream so far, if I actually look at the impressions of people who've actually watched the stream for any period of time, we've had several hundred people, and we have people who are regular. So I think there's a decent conversion rate. People like being around to some degree. But we need to increase that conversion rate. We need a lot more people getting into that cycle. So from a purely like, okay, I'm saying like every other word, but from a purely just analytical perspective, I need to start getting into the algorithm, and this is how I do that. Anyways, I'm just super off topic. I'm just trying to like explain myself. I think I'm just Every time I say something about this kind of like side of it, I feel like I worded really badly, and then you guys get really worried, which is respect. I understand, and you're totally fine thinking that, and I really I appreciate you guys worrying about me, but I think it's purely just me wording this badly. I'm just talking about analytics. There's nothing emotional about this. I'm just purely talking about how I enjoy what I'm doing. How do I get more people to see it? That's just literally that's the long and short of it. And I feel like the more I try to explain myself, the deeper I dig the hole, and I get myself stuck in these like word traps, and I just can't get out of it. It's bad. I'm so bad at this. Bipin Live said, as a developer, what's your favorite lunch at work time? In terms of food, I'd say that I love sushi. I love watermelon. What else do I like? That's got coffee, boba tea. Those are kind of a vibe. Now let's see if TikTok will now like my content. How to code tic-tac-toe. Yeah, sure, there's nothing emotional, but why am I about to cry? Probably the schoolwork. Don't cry. What's your schoolwork about? I swear to God, I fixed this. Why is it still problematic? I'm okay. I'm gonna actually check the images and make sure that these are all correct. That looks correct to me. Cosmical Sound says, I see what you mean. I feel like I don't deserve having lots of attention from what I create and do too. To go with the flow and see where it takes me. Getting my work out there is hard. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's the thing. It's hard, and the thing is, there's definitely you need to be a critic. You need to be a critic if you're gonna get it out there. Yeah, no. Don't apologize. It's. I think it's purely that I have a way with words, and I just can't. I I feel like I use loaded language when I really shouldn't, and it's just like a mental thing I do, and that's really I understand why people might misunderstand. It's very understandable. I'm just weird that way, and I feel like I've made my peace with it. Okay, I'm looking at all the specs. Everything is pointing me to the fact that this is TikTok is hating me right now. That's the only conclusion I have right now. I'm gonna just go through this, and I just have to. Use 3/4. It's not pretty, but it'll do the trick. Let's see. Yeah, it's not pretty at all. Wait, why is it messed up? One second. Did I wait? I feel like I think the problem isn't my computer right now. Okay, I'm gonna nuke my Google Photos. I'm like 99% sure. I'm gonna check everything. I'm gonna double check everything right now. This is the wrong one, right? Pretty sure this is the wrong one. Let's chuck this one. Everything else here is accurate. Let's make sure this looks good. Oh wait, that's incorrect. Wait, actually, wait. Am I thinking about this wrong? What's really incorrect is I need to, this page is incorrect. Yeah, plus. Wait. Actually, doesn't matter. Plus 1080. There we go. Okay. Can you guys still see my... Hello, Whippin' Live, how's it going? Tic-Tac-Toe is the best project for an interview? Well, it's a super simple project, and I think that was the point. No, I saw... So, okay. Long story short, why we're doing Tic-Tac-Toe is I saw a couple TikToks. I've been trying... So normally on social media, I don't comment, like... I do occasionally, but only stuff that I really want to return to. So I I will go days without liking a single post. It's a bad habit I have. I just don't do it. And I've just been on random TikTok. I don't think I've ever really been on a TikTok that I've really been part of. It's always just like I'm floating around various subcultures of TikTok. And long story short, I'd like to eventually get nice and even on code talk, on software, streaming, and like social media. Like I feel like those are like the main subjects that I have. So I've been trying to get onto that side of TikTok. So I've been commenting, and I came across like 5 different TikToks that were like joking about how Tic-Tac-Toe was like a super hard project for them early on, which respectively it is. You know, when you're first learning to code, obviously it's going to be difficult to like code and like, especially because you're not doing it the way I'm doing it. I'm doing it in a way that you'd argue is actually the easiest way of doing it, which is why I do it this way. But so right now it's just a single player. You playing both characters. I've already made it. I'll show you guys the little demo. I've already made this thing. Just play tic-tac-toe. It resets. Also, I haven't used inline states in a long time, Karkstock, since I couldn't tell you. Okay, let's try this again. Like this is like our fifth try, right? Like fifth time's the charm, right? That's how it goes. Well, I still have no idea why the cropping is wrong, but well, let's see if it actually looks okay. Oh, cancel. Okay, it looks pretty good actually. A little bit of line here. I don't know if I can patch. Well, I think I can patch it a little bit. 1 second. Doesn't look too good. Um, so how to make a bot in tic-tac-toe? Well, there's actually a pretty easy way of doing it. I'll show you guys how to do it. Actually, we'll do that as like a challenge today. Why not? I'm game for that. Um, well, okay. I tried fixing it. It isn't working. Um, I'm just gonna. It's fine. It's a little bit of a line on the last panel. We'll fix it for the next social media thing. Well, okay. So it isn't AI. The way because tic tac toe is so deterministic. What do you? Well, okay. So there is AI stuff we could do, but it's so deterministic to where it's almost a waste to not do it a different way. So okay, let me explain what I mean by deterministic, so you guys can like picture. Well, actually, let me first. Well, okay, no, I'll first explain it. I've already gone too far in trying to talk about this. So here's what happens. So the bot needs to expect the player to do the best possible choice. So we have, let's say here's the game state. And the bot will have decisions. It needs to weigh these decisions. So what it'll do is it's gonna go here and be like, okay, so if I do this, if I play this piece, what can the enemy player do? So the enemy player has their own decisions, right? So they have their own things. And the bot can go down the tree. You can think about this as yourself, like looking ahead. Like if I place an X here, what will the enemy do? And it's going to be, okay, well, let's say if the enemy does this, then I'll do these decisions. And then in these decisions, I will either win or lose, right? So you can basically have these state trees that grow, and they're done pretty much like there are algorithms you can use to do this. And now the thing is, you have to expect that a player is, well, this is one way you can do it, but a player isn't going to do stuff that doesn't benefit them, or they're not going to pick the worst path. So what we're going to do is we're going to say, okay, well, a player isn't going to pick a losing path here. They're going to go for the winning path. So we can prune these. And so essentially this path, assuming the player plays in the correct way, is going to be a winning path. And then we can basically go through all these and be, okay, so this, if I do this, then the player will guaranteed win. So assuming they play in a way that benefits them. So this is not something we want to do. What about this path? Well, if this way, no matter what the player does, there's a path for me to win. So then I want to go on this path, and I look at these ones, and then we can also negotiate with each one of those paths and be like, okay, well, this path will give me a better chance of winning over this path, and so on. So essentially, we can start to break this down and do it. There's different algorithms too, and there's other ways you can do it as well. Because it's never. This is a really cut and dry example where really I can be like, yeah, this is like a player really should do this, or else there's really no point. Or a player will act in this very, very specific way. There isn't like a whole lot of stuff that's up to chance here. But yeah, that's kind of the long and short of what. So AI is different than this in term. Well, not really, honest. Actually, I take that back. Well, I think tic-tac-toe is so deterministic to where I think that a proper robot, depending if they're first or second, will always win or tie. I forget. I think it's first player advantage, and I think you can guarantee a win or tie every game. I don't know. Is Deep Blue AI? Actually, I forget. I'm willing to bet that Deep Blue is just like. I don't think I computed every single possible state, but I think it just. Well, actually, let's take a look. I'm curious now. What algorithm? Is it public knowledge? So it does have a min-max search, a mini-max search with alpha, beta, min-max search. It's similar. It's like a very antiquated AI. It's interesting. But like, is it? Well, is it really like it? Okay, so I guess it depends how you define AI. Because it's still doing like heavy computation on every single move. It isn't like it's I mean, like with something like a neural network or something where it's still adapting, or if it's I guess wait, would it be considered? I guess okay. I think I'm confusing machine learning and AI, but it still isn't like showing like intelligence. It isn't like because if we're talking about intelligence from how a human would process it, is I think it's arguable. I think it's definitely an intelligent robot, and if you consider a, okay, I'm getting the actual definition up because I feel like I'm walking in circles. I remember back when I had an AI course, we had this thing in the beginning where we had to like my thinking style. Okay, so I will say, here's my thinking style. This is generally what happens. I think this is the best way for me to describe how my thinking works. Yeah, no, I know. So the thing is, I know that, that's why I stopped myself, because I was starting to talk about AI as machine learning, but that is different than AI. Machine learning, I would say, is more of a subset. So I will say, so my thinking style. Before I continue on this, I wanted to address this because I think it's really funny. Here's how my brain works. So usually on like two-sided issues, on a two-sided issue where like option A and option B, where I have to like, it could be anything, politics, philosophy, etc., right? So generally I start somewhere, like I have a gut feeling, right? And I'll be like, yeah, I'm pretty solid about this. I'm not even like super crazy about part side B. I'm pretty sure that A is on the right here. And then the first thing I do is I'm like, okay, so let me make a list of reasons why A is wrong and B is right. So I start thinking about that. And I'm like, you know what? Actually, B is looking a lot better. So I will like slingshot over to B side. And but then like I'll be like, I want to go back. I want to go back to A. So I start trying to find flaws in why B was correct. And I'll like slingshot back to A. Like, you know what? I found a flaw. I can go back to A now. Then I'll go back to A. And I'm like, okay, well, but what about this other issue? So like, what? But I didn't resolve this. And I'll see back to B, and I'll keep going, and eventually I kind of like stabilize near the middle, and I'm kind of like, okay, well, they both have good points, but I can't really decide. Like the thing is, I feel like so many issues are just, even ones that are like are black and white by definition. There's so many ways that you can frame it to where it really becomes, I can't. I'll just slingshot between the positions, and the worst part is I'll have a really strong, I'll have a strongly held position, and I will spend days, weeks, sometimes years. I'll spend like just being like, well, why do I have this position? Why don't I agree with B side? And it's sometimes I have like very, very strong preconceptions, and it's like, why do I have these? Are they really that justified? Does it stand against academic rigor? And usually the answer is not really. It's usually pretty bad. Again, especially in matters of politics and philosophy and so on. And the worst part about it is because I have this slingshotting thing, right, where I constantly go back and forth. So here's what happens a lot, which I think is even funnier. So what happens a lot is somebody will come over, right, and even if they're on the same side as I'm on, yeah, linguistics is intrinsically flawed. I think that 99% of issues are just a linguistic problem. But so here's the biggest problem. So even if they agree with me in the beginning, so if we're on the same side, what'll happen is I'll be with them for like a minute, and then like I'll be like, well, I'll slingshot. I'm like, but what about all these flaws? And then like we'll be like in huge disagreement for a while. And I'll be like, well, I understand your point. And I'll be like, but what about these? And from their perspective, like from anybody's perspective, they're gonna just think that I'm on this side and I'm just like trying to be on their side. But in reality, I'm just like literally slingshotting, and they're just like seeing these parts where I'm so far away from them. And I will literally be like, it'll look like I'm fully on part B. And on top of that, I have this natural like tendency to like disagree. To like just, even if it's like, I will literally be in a situation where it's like, okay, well, this is like an evil stance, and I'll be like, well, you know what, I'll take it. There's definitely evil stances I won't take, but there's definitely a lot of evil stances where I'm like, well, what if the corporations are right? And it's like, okay, well, I'm gonna just hang out over here for a while, and they'll be like, nah, let's go back. And it's just really funny. That's how my brain kind of works. Anyway, so Chris Ball says that AI using intelligent behavior. So I remember, so there was like a thing back when I was in an AI course. I think we had this long discussion about like the philosophy of AI and like the difference between like various like schools of thought on what AI means and what do we classify as true intelligence by a robot. And there were like a bunch of like I wish there was a really interesting slideshow that I remember about how AIs would, like the various like benchmarks an AI needs to like pass to be considered a true AI. And I feel like Deep Blue isn't an AI. I think it has rudimentary AI principles built into it. I just don't think it would be considered an AI by modern day definitions. and I'd love to be proven wrong. I don't have backing on it. That's the thing. I haven't. Last time I really messed with AI was like a month ago, and even then it was just like doing TensorFlow and stuff like that. It wasn't like serious AI stuff. I haven't really dove into the philosophy of AI in a long time, nor have I looked into history, because like Deep Blue, that's a historical thing. I'd have to actually like really review a bunch of stuff to actually get a or like a proper point of view. Okay, I'm gonna just 1 second. Okay, I was just checking the audio on the TikTok. Everything looks pretty good. We're just gonna full send it. I'm not a fan of it, honestly. If I'm being completely honest with you, I think TikTok botched my work, but I will take it. Uh, let's see if there's enough characters in a TikTok post to have all of my code. I feel like there's a decent chance that it will be like, nope, you've literally blown past the amount of stuff you can have in here. Let's see. Is my code shorter than a description on a TikTok? Oh, my code is shorter than a description of a TikTok. Oh yeah, no. Deep Blue for its time was very advanced. Like that IBM knew what they were doing, and they really pioneered a lot of stuff with Deep Blue. At least at the very minimum, they definitely like improved public perception, because I feel like they're definitely, I forget what they called it. I think they called it like the cold sections of AI history. Like basically like AI's had like down like cold eras and warm eras, like where like basically people were like, yeah, this is dumb. Like AI's had a lot of those, and people just weren't working on it because it just development slowed to stopped, and like it just wasn't really like big enough in the academic sphere to like really grow. So I feel like back then Deep Blue, especially by getting this public perception on it through chess, just that alone is like, I mean, it earned its spot in the history books of AI. That for sure. I will agree with that. Okay, let's just post it. Ready? Three, two, one, and oh wait, um, no hashtag. Okay, no hashtags. Just a title and a code. That's all. And I'll put Ohio. I'm an Ohio man. Ohio. OH. I I'd be surprised if anyone does anything after that. I just see like a bunch of IOs. All the Ohio people just jumped to chat just to do IO. Okay, we're just posting. We're just gonna do it. Yeah, let me see what it looks like. Pretty happy with it. Now let's do Instagram. So it is live on TikTok. Tic Tac Toe is live on TikTok. If you guys are interested, if you guys want to like, follow, subscribe, etc., now let's do the same thing on Instagram. Share the love. Okay. Here we go. Put a song on it. And then let's send it. Full send it. I should have, you know what? I didn't do it this time. We'll do it for the next one. We were too late. But I really should have, like, in his hand, I should have put like a little tic-tac-toe image to like sell the point. Oh, that would have been so good. Oh, that sucks. That sucks so much. Big regrets right there. Big regrets. Okay. Anywho, let's just HTML. Again, no hashtags. So it I love how I'm just straight up code dumping in the comments. This is hilarious. I love it. This is a very Andre thing to do. It's about as Andre as it gets. Ooh, did they get rid of that? Wait, I think they got rid of a is it advanced settings? Let's just share it. Anywho, it is 1:40 in the morning. If I get any traction with these, I'm definitely not posting at the ideal time for them, for sure. I will say, I think I nailed the image, the starting image for it. Yeah, I nailed it. It looks really good. I feel like I'm not gonna get. I feel like this isn't gonna be good. I'm already kind of regretting not using hashtags, but also whenever I used hashtags, it felt cringe. I don't know. Do I sacrifice my? Well, I guess this is one of your examples. Then I suppose a proper example of am I sacrificing my what I like for my art? I don't think so. I think honestly, I think the hashtag thing is more laziness and just uncertainty. I don't like not knowing if something will work, and hashtags are like the biggest black box I've had in social media. I genuinely don't know what good hashtags are. I just kind of like just throw in like a bunch of like hashtag game dev, hashtag indie dev, hashtag code, hashtag development, hashtag yada yada yada. Dignity, what is that? Can you eat it? No, no, I can't. I just wish that like I could be like, hey, TikTok. You got a bunch of coder people who want to see some code stuff, and they'd be like, yeah, we got like a couple thousand. We'll give a quick trial run, and we'll see if people like it. I wish I'd love to see a social media that actually trained their creators, but I don't think that would ever happen because enough people don't need it. I will say I did in this project. I didn't say how to run it. Now that I'm thinking about it, I didn't actually specify that you should save as an HTML and that was a mistake. Oh, some likes are coming in. A little bit slow, but it's fine. Anywho, well, now you can reverse engineer it with neural networks. Yeah, I will say that there has been some serious work done by some people looking for like trends in social media. Like I've seen some interesting things about it. I really okay. I really I'm thinking about it now. I really should have explained how to run this thing. Hey, but I mean I don't know. Yeah, mistakes were made in making this post. I'll put it as a comment though. That's how I will redeem myself. To run save as a .html file and open on any browser. Man, yeah, I think me using not using hashtags has sunk this video. Um, well, I've learned my lesson. If I don't hit 1,000 views, I'm gonna use hashtags. If I get more than 1,000 views, maybe I'll stop using hashtags because they're just pain. I think that is gonna be the long and short of this. Anywho, I think this has concluded my social media stuff. Maybe we should work on the next project, the next mini project. Wait, it took us 2 hours and a half. Oh god, I have hiccups now. Man, I gotta fix my social media workflow. That took way too long. Oh man, like Anywho, well, let's spend half an hour. Let's try to code something really fun, and then tomorrow we'll do something else. I do like doing my social media on stream because it does make me feel a little bit less insane. That I will say. So we're gonna start as I always do. Let's zoom in a little bit so you guys can actually don't type in. Make the script, do window dot onload equals this, and for this one I will use my good old input array method. So people stop working on reverse engineering the Photoshop formats. I'm proud of me. If no one else is proud of me, oh my god, what's happening? Am I still live? Something happened. Let me know if I'm still live or if, like, you guys got kicked out or something. I'm live? Okay, good. Like, literally my entire thing just stopped working for a second. Okay, so we're gonna do key down. Let's zoom out just a little bit. So guys, yeah. Wait, what am I? Okay, that's fine. And we'll do if I will say I'm getting better at typing this thing. It broke down for like 20 seconds. What do you mean? Like was it like I genuinely don't know what happened. So I'm trying to like troubleshoot right now what went wrong. I'll give you guys a play-by-play while I'm working on this new code. But for right now, my TikTok is it's trudging at 90 views. I can definitely tell that the algorithm is like struggling with the fact that I did not add add hashtags, because usually like by now it would have like blasted past its first 200 views and then it would slow down drastically. But now it's kind of like it's getting there, but it's a lot slower than it normally is. Or maybe it's just because the content isn't good. I'm using the same quality content as I normally do. Actually, it's better than what I normally do, so I think it's definitely more eye-catchy. We are getting some likes though. We already got 6 likes and 1 share, so we're kind of like at a 16 or 8% like ratio. Not the worst. It buffered, then skipped. Well, I hope it's probably back. I wonder what happened. It must have been like my internet died for like a second and now it's back. Okay, well, we got the input working. Now we can... I don't think we need to have an interval. Yeah, no, we don't actually need an interval thing for this. For right now, all we'll do is if input dot... We don't even need key... Wait. Whoa. We don't need any of this. I take it back. We don't need... Yeah, we literally don't need any of this. What am I doing? Keep it simple, right? Don't need any of this. What we need is an array that we're gonna call the board. The board. And we're gonna make it an array of arrays of here. I'll show you guys. I'll make an array. I did the same thing for TikTok. I can, when I'm tired, I just can't talk. It's ridiculous. But we're gonna make an array of nodes for the DOM. So all we're going to start out with is a double for loop, and inside here we're going to do board dot push another array in here, and then we're going to create DOM elements. We're going to call them squares, or square is equal to document dot create element. And we last time I used what's its face? The you know what? I did this last time. I'm gonna do this again. We're gonna go the crazy path. The sane path just never appeals to me. So we're gonna just do this in the craziest way I know. Okay, but anyways, going back to the task at hand. We won't be using buttons because we don't need to. Square.style dot. I guess you can do like a border to kind of like make them just a bit more interesting. It's border equals solid 1 pixel. I forget what this is a question for W3 schools. I will say we are starting to inch our way closer to 200 views on TikTok. Instagram, we never see like great growth. We saw a little bit of growth with our reels, so I'll need to get back into doing those. Anywho, so we need, what is border style? Okay. I think that's it. And now let's continue. Oh, guess gotta specify the color as well. Hopefully that works. And then we'll do square dot position, style dot position is equal to absolute. As always, because that's literally what I do for every single project. And then we're going to do square dot style dot left is going to be I for times 20 plus px. and square.style.top is equal to math.floor I over 4 times 20 plus px. Or, nah, yeah, we're gonna keep it this way. This works better. This is for the best. And then what we're gonna do is we're just gonna do that for right now. And we're gonna just add I wanna make sure it's working. So document.body.append child, and we're gonna put a square in it. And we're gonna close. Well, it's already closed. We're just gonna run it and see what happens. So we're gonna call it 2048.html. It is not working. Here, I'll show you guys. We're gonna examine why. It's probably just like a minor bug. Oh, missing parentheses on line 13. Should be a very simple bug in that case. Line 13. Oh. Okay, let's give it another run. No bug, but it isn't working. So let's go to DOM really fast. Oh, I'm seeing a bunch of stuff. Oh, we didn't define the size of it. Okay, that'll explain it. Pretty easy to fix. I knew I was missing some stylings. I forgot which stylings I was missing. Square.style.width is equal to 20px. And square.style.height is equal to 20px. That's looking pretty good. Let's give it a quick run and see what happens. Well, now it's working, but clearly the border style is incorrect for whatever reason. Maybe let's just do solid and see what happens. Hey, that doesn't look half bad. Maybe let's make it a little bit bigger. Now, I do want to have text in it at some point, so we're going to actually get that ready as well. So I might just, let me add a bit more styling. Let's actually make it 40 for right now. And we're going to also do square.style.text align is equal to center. Looking pretty good. And now what we're going to do is we're going to make all of them have an empty space for their square.inner HTML is equal to nothing. And now we're ready. I'm trying to like visualize how I'm going to handle this. So I think the very first thing we're going to do is we want to, maybe I'll, no, there's no reason to. No reason to. We'll have like a press any key to start kind of deal going on here. So I think normally you either get like a 1, a 2, or a 4. That's usually like the items you get in 2048. So we're just gonna do when to do a key down. Well, it's first gonna actually do the analysis. Let's do that first. So if event dot key actually, okay. We do want to do a for loop. We want to simplify this somewhere. We don't want to like do this a million times. Or like write too much code for no reason. So we're going to have to go through all of these things. For sure. Hey, Ken. How's it going? We use while instead of for here. Well, J, so we'll set, so will be kind of a for loop. J is equal to 0, while J is less than 4. Or not, you can have a J++. It's going to be more of like a weird algorithm for this. You're dying? Are you feeling worse? I'm sorry. I'll be there in a second. Let's just get like a little bit of this working, and then I'll be right there. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're also going to have a temp. I have j equals 1 and temp equals 0. If board I times, or j times 4, I times 4 plus j. Inner HTML parse int. We don't even need that actually, because we're not actually computing anything. We're just, what we will in a minute is going to be equal to this plus temp. Hello, Two Girl Bonds. How's it going? Actually, screw that. We're going to first start with if this is equal to nothing. Then else if. So if it's equal to nothing, well, let me zoom out a little bit. We need to zoom out. If it's equal to nothing, then the top priority is to increase j++. If it is you can, my name like to rule Barish. Two rule Parish or two rule Barish. Does that sound good? I swear, I thought the R and the I were like an N, like bonds, not Barish. From a distance, I could not tell them different. Okay. So if they're equal to each other, then what we want to do is we want to kind of reset. So we'll go back to j equals 1. Temp is, well, we'll do this actually after we do the right thing. So the first thing we got to do is board temp dot inner HTML is equal to this but parsed times 2. And then we'll have temp well plus j dot inner HTML is equal to an empty. So that's what happens if we get them being the same, else. So if the new one isn't empty and they're not the same, well, the edge case here actually doesn't matter because there is an edge case where they're right next to each other, but we can probably ignore that because, again, it doesn't matter. All we gotta do is temp plus 1 dot inner HTML is equal. Is Mac convenient for making games? A lot of developers use Mac. It doesn't matter, but a lot of developers like using Mac. It's really personal preference. There are slight differences, and it gets even more different when you talk about different softwares and different like IDEs and so on. So it really just comes down to personal preference. It's not bad though. A lot of developers use it. So just based off of that alone, I would say it isn't a bad thing to use. I will say that if you're not predisposed or don't have like a personal preference, the Mac is also the most expensive way to get into it, so there's also that, I'd say. You have a lot more control over the price of a usable piece of Windows or Linux. Honestly, Linux more so than the Macintosh, because Apple wants that money, and they will get that money, and they've gotten that money from me. So maybe I'm the worst person to say this, but at the end of the day, that you're losing deep customizability and a lot of other stuff for, you know, for a company that's very, very like, I think the benefit of like Mac is that everything is so well built to be together. That's the thing about it. It isn't like they have to like worry about other companies and like their stuff. It's so like, it's such an enclosed ecosystem that it could really make it thrive. I think the issue now is they're running out of ideas and they're kind of like cutting corners. It just feels like right now it's kind of going on the downturn, but that's just my take. I'm sure other people will disagree with me. Okay, so we do this. Actually, this happens if, well, okay, actually I do need to account for the edge case. If J is not equal to temp plus 1, then we do this. Otherwise, well, it doesn't matter. After that, we'll do temp plus J equals temp plus 1. It's good for using everywhere with long batteries while I'm paying. Yeah, no, that's good. No, yeah, I mean, you're never gonna be able to game on it. That's true as well. Some games you might be able to game on it, but for the most part, you won't see any games on it. Like, it really comes down to, if you look at the spec sheet and it is something that you think, like, if you look at the everything in Apple and you're like, you know what, I really think I can use whatever they have. I dig what they have. And like, if you're confident about it and like everything makes sense to you, then go for it. You're not going to regret it, especially if you've done your research. There's nothing wrong with Apple. I mean, there is stuff wrong with Apple, but there's nothing wrong with using Apple hardware and software. I guess those kind of go together, don't they? Okay, so I think this should work. And then after all this, we're going to while, and then we're going to add the for loop. Okay. For right now, what I'm going to do, just to test this out and see what happens, let's just have, I'll go in here and just set board, let's do 7 dot inner HTML is equal to 2. Just to test it out. And now let's run it. There's probably gonna be a bug because we wrote like 40 lines of code with no testing, but here we go, guys. Ready? Yeah, there's a bug. That is not good. That is not good at all. That is a problem. And the problem is we forgot to append, yeah, okay, forgot to append Okay. There we go. We have 2. And now I'm going to press the key and see what happens. Now that's wrong. Why did it... The edge, there's an edge case. There's an edge case. There's an edge case. Of course there's an edge case. There's always an edge case. The edge case is if temp is empty. So actually, this will go before this edge case, before this. So if actually, no. It'll go after this one because we need to make sure that J isn't empty. But it'll go before this one. So it's going to be this, oops-a-daisy, plus temp is empty. And what this will happen now is we're just gonna swap them. And now, well, you guys can see what I did. Okay, I just added another if and then just put this thing aside there. Pretty simple. And now we run it and see what happens. Now, there we go. It went. It did the thing. The thing has been done. And now let's see if I can do that for different directions. So the main difference is going to be this formula for this. So we're actually going to replace that. So instead of this formula we have right here for J and temp, we're instead going to use you know what? Okay. You guys can see what this is doing. Okay, we got close. Honestly, we spent like half an hour getting started on this. Again, I'm taking too long. I should have gone to this part faster. I mean, I only wrote like how many lines of code? 43 lines of code, and I could have written faster. So I gotta like type. Well, there were a couple bugs. I guess I get an excuse. Let's try to get 2048 done tomorrow. I might do before stream and then do the social media before stream as well, just so you guys don't have to watch me for 2 hours messing with Adobe. I think the new thing worked. The new Adobe thing I did work. I will say, from the looks of it, new TikTok, like not using the hashtags. Maybe it's the font. I don't know. What do you guys? Is the font not readable of the new TikTok? I think it's readable. I mean, some people liked it, so I guess you could say it's readable enough. I don't know. Anywho, I'm getting tired. My brain isn't working. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I might, as of right now, my current streaming schedule is Thursday, Friday, Monday, Tuesday, or Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. So I'll be streaming tomorrow, but I'll take the weekend off, and then Monday and Tuesday. I don't know if we'll go back. I don't know. I'm still kind of playing this by ear. See you, Karkstoxin. It was nice having you. I'm still playing this by ear. You still here? Yeah, no worries. I appreciate you. But I'm still playing the schedule by ear. I don't know. I don't know what we're gonna buy a how you said 2 rule barish. Buy a 2 rule barish. But yeah, anyways, just to like end off the stream, I don't know when I'm going to or like how we're gonna adjust the schedule. Kind of, I would say expect it to be wobbly for a minute. It's not gonna be solid for maybe a couple of weeks. We're gonna slowly get into a proper streaming schedule. I'll try to give you guys some more stuff to like look at and read and everything else in the Discord. I think that's where I'm gonna like be Discord, social media. I'm gonna try to have that down pat, and then hopefully, eventually, my I'll get a position or a job or something. Something will happen to where I can say have more healthy streaming times. That would be excellent. I don't know if it's possible. Definitely not possible right now. But yeah, that is the goal. That is the objective. So again, thanks for watching. I really appreciate all of you guys. Don't worry about it. I promise. There's nothing to worry about. I'm being very serious. There's a weird little guy who just says the wrong thing sometimes. Just saying that from earlier. But yeah, tomorrow we'll get this. I'll get this done, and we'll work on something else tomorrow. Let's just knock out a bunch of old games. That sounds like fun. Let's just like get a bunch of weird games and like some interesting challenges and just do them all. That just sounds like a blast. That's what we'll do. See ya. Two rule barish. I'm gonna memorize. I'm gonna learn that. I'm gonna keep practicing. I'm gonna learn 2 rule barish. I'm not gonna look at the chat anymore. I can just say it from the top of my head. I'll get there. I will. Okay.